it's number 3, the same temperature it was outside when we started the brew day today. That's why we're by the fireplace. We've decided to do a West Flanders Sour. We had some very good success in the past doing these kinds of things, and I haven't done it in about 6 months, and I had a horny keg sitting around, well, a horny carbo if you really want to be specific. And I wanted to get this thing pumping again. Let's go take a look. On Friday, I looked at the weather forecast and it said it was going to be -20 to -30 with 15 to 30 mile/hour winds, so I decided not to brew that day. Instead, celebrate my lovely wife and Valentine's Day with a romantic pizza in a heart shape. And started with a starter. It's USO5 we're using, and I really have to say that Firm Cap S is awesome for starters. It keeps the foam, and it's really easy to make a starter. So real quick, just made your average starter and pitched some dry yeast. Brewery upgrade time. My dad installed hot and cold lines into the brewery. I no longer have to hang a hose out from inside the kitchen all the way into the garage. It is awesome. Dad, you're the best. Now it's time to actually start assembling all my gear and getting everything ready. It's freaking cold out. I had to go get some gloves because my hands were getting really cold, and there was ice forming on the ground. There was everywhere. Anything that hit the ground turned to ice almost instantly. So we finally got everything together, and we thought everything was going to go pretty well because it's a pretty standard brew day. Time to fire up the hot liquor tank and get my strike water up to temp. While I was assembling things and stirring the pot and doing some temperature checks, I got a little too close with my jacket. Mental note, nylon and flames don't work very well. This is the second time I've done that. You'd figured I'd learn from my mistakes. The extreme cold from the night before is already affecting us. The pumps wouldn't start. I had to take some of the hot water from the hot liquor tank and run it through the quick connects on just gravity flows to heat up the housings. After a few minutes of that, each pump would start to spin. Ugh, not fun. Mash it in. 6 pounds of Munich, 5 pounds of 2-row, a half a pound of Cara Munich, half a pound of Special B, half a pound of Victory, and a half a pound of Dark Wheat. And it's your standard 152-degree mash. Today's beer, sponsored by Josh, is Abrasive Ale from Surly. It is a great double IPA seasonal release that I wish I could get around here. Hurry up, Todd. Release to Wisconsin. Here's the horny keg from the last couple of years. You can tell it's in kind of a crappy condition, and it really had a strong smell of vinegar. I decided that I wanted to reuse some of it, and I harvested a couple, like whatever that is, of cherries to repitch to try to get Brettanomyces over. So I saved a couple cherries, and we'll pitch it into the wort. Spargent, time to get all the delicious sugars out and into the boil kettle. About 70 minutes into the 90-minute boil, and everything's going well. Boil's done, we're cooling it and filling up the fermenter. Things sure smell great in there. First thing we pitched is Lactose Bacillus, WLP 677. And then the harvested cherries from the horny carboy, we're trying to get Brettanomyces over. And then lastly, 1,200 milliliters of Safale USO5 in the starter. And yes, I know I missed a little bit. Time for some readings. The clarity here is great, but I missed the target again. I'm about 1054. I anti-Janetski'd that by about 10 points. I think there's something up with the water since it's winter. Well, that's it. Yondu. We'll see you next week.